I was very excited that you came to see me both as the client and as an interior designer, because that for me is really special to have someone with a creative vision as part of the process from the beginning. So I love that, and your brief was really exciting.
Yeah, it was. It was something that we kind of had in our mind that we wanted this contemporary home, but
Yeah.
after buying a block of land in a heritage township, it made it a little bit difficult to get what we wanted in our minds. So it was really exciting then to have you on board who could take over and make it all work for us.
Well, I loved it because I thought the challenge was going to be, how do we marry a building in a heritage listed town and also meet the brief of having a contemporary building. So I think as we workshopped that, we came up with this idea that we would design quite a traditional cottage element to the front of the block, which did all the respectful things that a new building should do in a conservation area. And then if we got that right, we had the freedom to create something really special behind it, which was much more contemporary and would suit your brief. The first time I saw the site, and I was blown away with the topography, so it had quite a lot of fall on it, which was a bit deceptive when it was
It was
vacant.
very deceptive.
Yeah, I think there's 8 metres of fall from the front to the back.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
So I guess that was always going to be a challenge. What was really lovely is that you embraced that initial idea that we had, which was to explode the building and pull it apart and create 3 pavilions that were linked together, and that let us create very different architecture with each pavilion. And then I think the interiors just tied all together really beautifully.
Yeah, it did. It did. It absolutely meant that we were able to create the different zones that we wanted for the family. So we had the kids area with their bedrooms, a master pavilion, which meant that we could have a bit of separation between the kids and the parents.
Yep.
But then have a really beautiful big open living space that really connected the outdoors to the indoors.
Yeah, and I love that when we talked about this connection to the site, and when we do link the house and create these pavilions, you end up having these visual connections to the site as you walk through the house, which I think is really lovely, and you're connected to being part of Berrimah. And
absolutely, we've got glimpses of the gorgeous, I call it stolen landscape around the block. We've got reserve around us and gorgeous native landscape. So it's beautiful that we get to capture that from different aspects within the house.
Absolutely. I think you've probably been told by lots of people that the proportion of all these rooms is pretty spot on.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Then layered in each space, it just has this really beautiful warmth, which a house that's got concrete and glass doesn't always have, but we managed to achieve that.
Yeah, and I think that was a definite, it was something that got brought up a lot during the build was, is this going to be too hard? And we really made this too cold. But knowing where this was developing, I knew that the layers were coming in and the textures were coming in, and the linen ceiling to floor curtain. We've got some glosswood paneling that runs the whole way down the hallway, and it just creates texture and takes that hardness away. We've managed to have a beautiful big living area that actually has its 3 separate zones. And whether that was with the kitchen, the big island bench, being able to move around the space. And we kept the minimal joinery in the main area of the kitchen, just because I wanted it to feel open. I didn't want it to feel like a kitchen. I wanted it to feel like this is our living space. From the street, it's a really beautiful aspect. It really shows the architecture beautifully. And then as you move through the links into the back pavilion, it just it just moves you straight out onto the block, which I love, and it means that the kids are inside and outside. It's seamless, and it was something that we were really passionate about, making sure that we had that seamless connection.
I think the kids and having a young family was such an important part of our brief, because you talk a lot about the visual connection to outside and being able to have surveillance, and I think I was thinking about making sure the house was really robust, because you wanted to live in it and it had to be a beautiful family home, and I think we got that pretty right.
Yeah, we really did. I think that it was really important that this wasn't going to be a delicate home, that having 4 kids, I didn't want to feel like I was watching them every second of the day to make sure that something wasn't getting bumped or broken, or the floorboard scratched or ruined. So a big part of the feature of the home was to have it on a concrete slab that we would then polish. As the client and an interior designer, I've realised that as soon as you can get involved with the architect, the better from an interior design perspective, to make sure that everything's going to work, all the finishes that you want to choose are going to work together with the architecture. And I think that we really managed to work really cohesively, and we were all on the same page, just to make sure that we got the end product was exactly what our original brief was all about.